Hello guys, Smiley Galaxy Boy here. Today we are back with higher or lower, and we are going back into the geography section. So last episode we did these four right here, and then today we are going to finish it off with these final four right here, and then we'll finally move on to a new topic. So let's start with population US states. Guess which US state has a higher population? Let's go to leaderboard, and again the top 100 we need at least 340 for first place, so that's a lot. Far ahead of 173, by the way. But to get in top 100, we need 16, so hopefully that's not like the most difficult thing. Virginia versus Oregon. I feel like Virginia is going to have more. Yeah, not even close actually. It's like half for Oregon. Minnesota, I don't think it has 8 million. Yeah, 5 million though. More than Oregon. Alabama. So Alabama is like, I think it has a lot, but I don't know if it's 5 million. I'm gonna go with Minnesota actually. Okay, it is 5 million, but it's less still, so we're fine. Alabama definitely. Yeah, South Dakota doesn't even have 1 million. Like, there's a lot I know that will have less than 1 million because like the central states don't have much. I'm gonna go with South Carolina. Yeah, 5 million. And next up we have Missouri. So Missouri's kind of in the center, but it's like also like it has some big cities as well. I'm gonna go with Missouri actually. Yeah, 6 million. And then we have Maine. I don't think Maine has 6 million people. Yeah, there we go. Score 7. Louisiana probably has more than 1 million. There we go, 4 million. And then we have Florida. One of the most populated states. There we go, 23 million. And then we have Mississippi. Doesn't have 23 million. 2 million. Almost 3 million. So, yeah, not even close. I'm going to go Mississippi, actually. Yeah, Vermont actually doesn't have that much. And then we have Michigan. And Michigan has to have more, right? Yeah, 10 million. And we're actually getting close already. I'm going to go Arizona, actually. Okay, never mind. Right as I say we are getting close, I then just fail. I'm gonna start with South Carolina. Do we get it? Okay, barely. So score 1. And then I'm gonna go South Carolina again. There we go, score 2. And then I'm gonna go with Washington. 7 million, almost 8 million for Washington. That's actually more than I thought for Washington. But there is Seattle, I guess. But anyways, Washington definitely has more than South Dakota. And then we have Hawaii. Hawaii doesn't have much. Okay, more than 1 million though. I didn't know Hawaii had that many people. I thought it'd be close to 1 million, but I didn't think it had over 1 million. Next up we have Maryland and Iowa. I'm gonna go with Maryland actually. Okay, yeah. Iowa has about half of that. And that's weird because like Maryland's so much smaller, but I guess Iowa is so much emptier. Pennsylvania's up there. There we go, 13 million. Philadelphia helps a lot there. Minnesota does not have 13 million. I think Pennsylvania is the 5th or 6th most populated US state. I think 5th. And then we have New Mexico. I think New Mexico actually might have more. Okay, no, never mind. Missouri or Kentucky. I'm gonna go with Missouri actually, because yeah, I remember it having 6 million. And 4 million for Kentucky. Next up we have Georgia. Georgia, you know, I'm gonna go with it. 11 million. Actually, that's a lot for Georgia, but I guess it makes sense. South Dakota doesn't have 1 million even. There we go. Maryland has like, what was it, 4 million? No, 6 million, right, yeah. 6 million. And then I'm gonna go with Maryland again. There we go. Score 5. And then we have Michigan, over 10 million. There we go. Score 6. We need 10 more to get into the top 100. Score 7. And then let's go with Alabama. There we go. Score 8. And then we have Minnesota. I'm gonna go with Minnesota. There we go. Score 9. And then Tennessee. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit more difficult, I think, because like Tennessee's big, but I don't know if it has a really big city. I'm gonna go with Minnesota. Okay, never mind. Tennessee has more people than I thought. So, do we do it again? Or do we move on to the next one? I'm giving it one more attempt, so I'm gonna go with Nevada here. Okay, we got 0 there. Okay, I'm actually gonna give it one more attempt that's not just 0. Starting off, I'm gonna go with Iowa. I'm pretty sure Alaska, yeah, has less than 1 million in all of Alaska, which is weird to think about because of how big it is. It's by far the biggest US state. But anyways, Iowa. And look, it's the smallest US state with over 1 million. And then we have Ohio. And Ohio definitely has more. 11 million people in Ohio. And then I'm going to go with Ohio again. 5 million in Minnesota. And then we have New Hampshire. And I'm going with Minnesota again. There we go. Score 5. And then let's go with Mississippi. There we go. Almost 3 million. And then Tennessee had a lot more than I thought. So score 7. And then Tennessee has more than Maryland. And I think Maryland had more than Kentucky. Yeah. There we go. And then Kentucky, maybe. Okay, that's actually pretty close though. And then I'm going Oklahoma. Yeah, Kansas doesn't have as much. And then South Carolina. There we go. Score 12. We're tied again. Okay, this is easy. Vermont doesn't have that many. And then California, the most populated US state. Also, the US state that I live in. So California again. Score 15. And this should be easy. Okay, actually, I think Illinois might have a little bit more than Pennsylvania. Or a little bit less, I think, actually. I'm going to go with Illinois again. There we go. 9 million in New Jersey. Almost 10 million. And then that's easy. And we are officially in the top 100. So we can stop after this. Alabama. Virginia. There we go. Virginia again. There we go. We got score 20. And then Oregon. Like that. North Carolina, I think. 11 million in North Carolina. That's a lot. Wisconsin does not have 11 million. Yeah. And then we have Maine or Wisconsin. I'm going Wisconsin. There we go. And can we get 25? 3/4 or 1/4, I mean, of 100. Not 3/4. Missouri. There we go. Score 25. There we go. Wyoming, the least populated US state. 587,000, it looks like. Texas, the second most populated US state. And then Texas again. Why is it so easy after I'm ready to quit? Because then it makes it more difficult to quit now. There we go. 3 million for Utah. And then New York is up there. There we go. 19 million. And then I'm going to go New York again. There we go. And then I'm going to go with Louisiana. 4 million, right? There we go. 32. And then I'm going to go Arizona. There we go. 7 million. And then we have... Let's go Arizona again. There we go. And then I'm going to go Colorado. 5 million. And then we have Idaho or Colorado. I'm going Colorado. 2 million. And then Indiana, maybe. And then Florida. We're doing so good now. Why is it so easy now? $6 million, 89, and then Missouri again. Yeah, not even close. And then I'm gonna go Iowa. Yeah, 91. And then, okay, finally it's giving me a close one, but when I get close to 100, that's when it gives me the close ones. I'm going to Nebraska, though. Okay, the game has finally ended, and I never even got to 100. Now I wish it didn't get difficult. I got in the top 10. That's how easy this was. I could have been one of the ones to get to 100, and that would have been cool, but I didn't get to 100. So, yeah. Okay, that went on for a lot longer than I thought, but this one I don't think we're going to get as much. Most Googled around the world. So, guess which place around the world gets Googled more each month. And for the leaderboard, also, this was updated like a month ago, I think it said. And we need to get 14, so I don't know if we're going to get it or not. So, let's just play it. So, which one of these two get more, like, searches, I guess? I'm going to go with Spanish Steps. Okay, there we go. We got a score of 1. And then, it's like a famous place, I think, in, like, Mexico, or like a wonder of the world. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, there we go. Score 2. Nebraska. The entire state of Nebraska. I'm going to go with that, actually. Oh, it's tied. And then, we're just getting back to U.S. states. Maine or Nebraska. I'm going Maine, because I think Maine probably has more. There we go. And it's on, like, the corner of the map, so it's, like, an interesting looking area, I guess. And then West Virginia. I'm going West Virginia. Okay, never mind. We got score 4. Maryland or Central Park. The famous park in Manhattan. I'm going Central Park. 2 million for Central Park. And then London Eye. I think Central Park's probably way more popular. Yeah, I don't really know London Eye that well. And then, I'm going London Eye, maybe. There we go. Score 3. Lake Victoria. I'm gonna go with it, why not? Okay, never mind. Score 3 now. So, let's try again. Which one do we go with? I'm gonna go this. 550, 27,100. So, there we go. I'm gonna go with this again. There we go. And then Rhode Island, the smallest US state. I'm gonna go with it, actually. There we go, 550. I feel like we've seen a lot at 550, actually. Victoria Falls. So, which one do we go with? I'm gonna go with Victoria Falls, actually. Never mind. So, yeah, score 3. Which one of these two do we go with? I think this is like a territory area. And I don't really know it that well. I do know it, but yeah. Score 1. And then I'm gonna go with it again. There we go. Score 2. Can we beat 4? Marshall Islands, 201,000. And then I'm gonna go with Liberia, actually. 550. That's another one at 550. I'm gonna go with this. 1.5 million. We're in the millions again. I think the only other one that got a million is Central Park. I'm gonna go with that because that's an actual country. Yeah. And then let's go with North Dakota. Yeah, there we go. Score 7. I'm gonna go with Nigeria. 1.5 million. So yeah, there we go. I'm gonna go with Nigeria again, actually. Okay, not even close. But we got score 8. Let's give it one more attempt. I think I'm gonna have to give less attempts for the rest of them just because, like, the first round took so long because we did so good. I'm gonna go with this one, though. Never mind. I guess let's just stop there. So we weren't able to get into the top 100 there, but I don't really care about that because we got far in the top 100. We got in the top 10 for U.S. states population. Now we have Olympics, countries, medals. So let's go with this. Okay, we got 2 game modes, I guess, and let's just go with that, and then check the leaderboard, and to get in top 100, we need 24. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's just play. I'm going to give it one attempt for this, so, yeah, because I don't want to stretch out the video to, like, a lot. Let's go with New Zealand. Okay, there we go, score 1, and then I'm going to go with New Zealand again. There we go, score 2. And then let's go with Dominican Republic. And then there you go, Slovenia. And then let's go with Slovenia again, maybe. Nope. and that's where we're stopping for that one. And the other one is country's summer gold medal, so let's go there, check the leaderboard, and we need to get how many? 15. So can we do it? I'm gonna go with the UK, so that's basically what this is. Okay, we got 1. It was actually kind of close though, and 1. That one just got 1. I'm going Dominican Republic. 4. So not much for these. I'm gonna go with Dominican Republic again. Okay, never mind. North Korea. So we got 3, and that's where we're stopping for that one as well. And this is our final one for today. This one went by very quick just because there's like 2 modes and I wanted to get through it fast since this took a while. So this is our final one, and let's check it out. Okay, so there isn't any like other modes within it or anything. So guess which country song got more points at Eurovision. So leaderboard. And why are the scores so high? 1,421. Who sat there for that long doing that? Okay, 32 for top 100. I don't think we're getting in it. Okay, I have no idea for these two. I'm just gonna go with this. Okay, never mind. Let's give it another attempt. Let's go with this. I'm just guessing for these. And again, I got it wrong. Can we get more than 0? Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. Again, 0. Okay, we need to try again. And the answer to that question, have I ever watched Eurovision before? The answer is no, so that's probably why I'm failing at this so badly. Let's go with this one right here. I just keep getting 0. How am I doing so bad? Okay, this one ends when I get 1. So that maybe? Finally, we got 1. So from now on, whenever I fail, then that means that we're done. So score 2. And then this. There we go. Score 3. And this one. There we go. Score 4. And I don't know why I clicked that. That was so low anyway. Yeah, we are just going to end the video here. I don't think that really like makes sense for like countries or like geography. Well, it is like Eurovision like country points, but I don't know any of that stuff. So that one I did bad at. But anyways, we are officially done with the geography section, and we did YouTube the first 2 episodes. So next up, we are going to move on to a new section, and looking at these, which one do we go with? I'm going to try Instagram actually. So how many sections? Just 2 of them. So we're going to do all of Instagram in the next episode, and then maybe TikTok, and that's the same thing. So the next 2 episodes are going to be about Instagram and TikTok, and then we'll move on to something else. Let's do video games after that. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when another video comes out. Leave a like if you like the video. You also don't have to do all this if you want to, but if you want to, you can. Try to get to 1.2k eventually. I don't know why I messed up there so badly. But anyways, that's all. Bye.